We are driving in the Sedgefield neighborhood of Charlotte. Sedgefield is one of the first post-World War II neighborhoods that Charlotte was really developing right after the Second World War. And it has come quite a long way. This and the Madison Park neighborhood that we're going to be visiting right after this and heading down to. But this is an older section of Charlotte. This was built in the 50s. A lot of these homes, well, some of them have been redone, which is why Sedgefield and Madison Park are probably two of your most sought after neighborhoods right now in a very moderate price point. So things in here as of, summer of 2022 will run you anywhere from $600,000 to 1.2, which is a big range, but you're getting a lot of house, and you're also getting, sometimes you're getting a lot of house. You're getting a lot of land, which is great, but you're getting a lot for where you are. You're so close to Dilworth, and we are just south of Dilworth and just shy of Uptown. So anytime you need to get into town, you've got your two main, healthcare providers in the city, which are Atrium and Novant, and they are just right uptown as well, and near Uptown. And so you're really, really close here. This gives you that access right off Park Road to head into Dilworth, get your groceries, go shopping, go dining, eat, all your good stuff right there. If you just head right around the corner from here, Ideal Way is right there. You've got Roussan's right there, all your great restaurants. It's perfect. But driving through Dilworth, you're gonna pop right over Ideal Way and hit the Sedgefield neighborhood. So here you see either some single stories, which ranches that are older, or you're gonna see new builds. And anytime you go through a neighborhood and I take you somewhere and we look at houses, you're going to see a mixture of what is there originally from the 50s, what is under construction for renovation purposes of the inside and keeping the existing structure the way it is, and you're going to see brand new builds. So if you look over to the right, you're going to see brand new builds. To the left, brand new builds. These were done within the last 5 years. You can see that there's a different type of architecture there. It's really fantastic. It blends that traditional and that transitional with a little bit of craftsman style. So you get a little bit of newness with everything that you're going to be seeing for the rest of the neighborhoods. Then if you come over, this is Marsh. This is almost the south end, and we'll take Marsh down to the left here, and we're going to go through here and go over into Colonial Village and the Collingwood area, which is right off Scaly Bark. So we're going to head out of Sedgefield, but this is another, so Marsh will also take you from South Boulevard down to Park Road. And so it's a great way to get back and forth if you need that extension to come over. Dilworth Elementary Sedgefield campus is right here. And we're just going to cut through the neighborhood so you can see a little bit of the old blended with the new. And, again, we're right off South Boulevard as well. We've got new construction to our right. A lot of people are saying that they want to build here. It's so close to South End. You're maybe a quarter of a mile away, if that. I was going to say Price's Chicken Coop. It's not there anymore. So sorry. I actually shed a tear when that went away. It was some of the best fried chicken in Charlotte. I mean, it really, really was. But you've got Fuda Buddha up there. I mean, just all the great restaurants in South End. And Mac's Speed Shop for barbecue. Can't beat that. But you've also got shopping right there. You've got groceries right there. There's a Lowe's right there. Everything you need is right there. So you can see why Sedgefield is such a popular area. People come in here, they will buy a house that hasn't been touched for a good 20 years, maybe 30, and say, okay, we're going to buy this, we're going to renovate, we're going to have some fun with this, and it moves forward. And then right here is where Colonial Village starts. So we are on Hartford Avenue. We had come off of Marsh, and we're just driving through this wonderful neighborhood. This is going to take us a little bit more south and down toward Wendover. And well, at this point, it's going to be Woodlawn. So these are the roads that in Charlotte change names all the time. You know, we've met Sharon, her sisters, and you have to know which Sharon you're talking to and talking about because you don't want to get lost. Wendover changes to Woodlawn, and we're going to hit Woodlawn up here. I know these are a lot of names, and I know it can be very confusing at times. Just know that if you're on something that looks like it's going to change names 5 times, just stay on it and see where you go. It'll be fine. You'll get to where you need to go eventually. You really, really will. So again, right here, we're going to see split levels off to the left. You're going to see brand new construction off to the right. This is what you want to see in a vibrant neighborhood. This means that there's activity. This means that there's growth. This means that you're going to get probably a very good return on your investment when you buy in here. This is what you want to see. This is it. So we are coming out of, this is all still Colonial Village. And certain parts of Charlotte, the neighborhoods on the street signs will put a little decal over to the far left. Colonial Villages is an oak leaf, and it's a very cool little thing that they put on there. So Sedgefield has one, but they have their signs. So we have the Colonial Village oak leaf up here. And so when you go in and you see Hartford and you're driving down there, you'll see the little oak leaf that lets you know that you're in Colonial Village. So you kind of know what neighborhood you're in without having to know what neighborhood you're in. It's that if you know, you know. So Charlotte's, I guess technically Charlotte started that. I'm sure other cities did too, but we're going to take the credit for it because, you know, not for nothing, we deserve it. I mean, it's a really cool thing to do. And if we pioneered something, we're going to let you know. I mean, we're not shy about that at all. So we're going to turn down University here. This starts the Collingwood neighborhood. And these are all, I mean, we're just, again, right off South Boulevard, which is a main artery. You've got shopping, you've got dining, you've got automotive, you've got everything over there. So this is very similar to where we just were in the Sedgefield neighborhood. These are 50s homes that were built in the 50s, 50s style. A lot of them are ranch. Every once in a while, you're going to see a 1.5 story. But a lot of the time, you're going to see these single stories that have been updated to some extent, and some that just are perfect and ripe for the picking to say, okay, yeah, I want to do something with that. And you can move in. There's a little park down here and around the corner. It is a great neighborhood. I just sold to some people in here not too long ago, actually. They just closed, I think, in March. And they love it. They absolutely love it. So coming through, we're on Applegate Drive. Coming down here, you're going to see a lot of low, almost mid-century modern type houses. These you never know what you're going to get behind the door either. So somebody may not have touched the outside, but they have come through and they've said, oh, we're going to modernize our kitchen. We're going to do this. We're going to put in a bathroom and add this to this part of the house. And they may build onto the back. These are usually pretty deep lots, considering that other lots have been chopped up throughout Charlotte and over time, and people have subdivided and things like that. So what you're getting is a nicer width and depth, or pretty much a depth, to be able to expand or build and just enjoy that comfort of living. Directly in front of us, I'm just going to stop at the stop sign and let y'all look. This is perfect for Collingwood. This is a ranch style. They built out on the front. They put in the screened porch. Then they've got this really nice mature landscaping that sweeps down, and you back up a little bit to a little bit of a watershed. And if you remember from my earlier video, the watersheds are everywhere in Charlotte, because when we get those massive rains, we want the water going away from the houses and away from the neighborhoods and going into the rivers. And then it goes down into Lake Wylie, which is great, because then if you go over and you drive down I-77, you can stop, you can tube, you can have some fun down there. And then you can park at the pump house, they'll drive you up, you tube all the way down, and then you're just having fun and enjoying the summer afternoons. And who doesn't love to put a whole bunch of beer in an inner tube and float down and get drunk half the time? I mean, or seltzer if you don't like drinking. You can do whatever you want. I do recommend not doing pretzel sticks. They tend to get really soggy really quickly. And then, it's just, you get them in. It's kind of like having sand everywhere in your bathing suit. You don't want to have to fish all that out and explain to somebody why you have soggy pretzels everywhere. Anyway, I digress, but you know this about me. So this is part of why you're tuning in. You want these little anecdotal stories. This is part of the fun. It is what it is. So we are on Murray Hill Road. We're coming out of the lower part of Collingwood, and we are about to hit the north part of Madison Park. So right now we're on Woodlawn. We're stopped here at the stop sign. We have to be very, very careful because people really like to go fast in Charlotte. We're always in a hurry to get anywhere, and we're just going to zoom right across because this is kind of like playing bumper cars right here. It's not really a good thing to say that. I'm sure my insurance company would have a fit, but it's going to be okay. So this is Madison Park. Again, post-World War II neighborhood that was developed right after World War II, 50s style homes, or at 50s era homes that have come in. You've got a lot of ranch, you've got a lot of 1.5 stories as well, because you've got the hills in Madison Park. You've got sidewalks in here. This is a great, great neighborhood. It is also one of the hottest neighborhoods to try and get into right now. It is really kind of difficult when things come up. Even now, post-pandemic, we are seeing a lot of fast turnover, and it doesn't stay on the market very long. Normally, now that the pandemic is cooling off, our market is starting to level off, and so houses are starting to stay on the market just a little bit longer, and giving those buyers that extra edge they needed to say, okay, I can think about this, I can make this a very informed decision. We can do our homework, we can take the time that we need to make sure that this is right for us. Madison Park, not always the case. It moves quickly, but you've got these really great sweeping up, but they're still sweeping lawns in the front. And a lot of these houses, you either get a big front lawn or a big back lawn. And so if you have very little in the front, you're going to have, it's kind of like having a mullet, it's a little short in the front, but big and long in the back. So you could have your party in the back and still have fun and be very, manicured and very in the front and be great. Doesn't really matter. But some of these houses, I'm going to slow down a little bit so you can see that if they sweep down in the back, they may have a walkout basement. So you may come down and it may be a 2-story and it looks like it's just a ranch in the front, but because of the hill slope back there, you may go down and have a walkout, which is what we call where you just open out onto the lawn in the back, and you're having to go down the stairs to get to it. On the other side, when you're going up the hill, you would not have a walkout, you would not have a basement. So it just depends again on what side of the street you're on, or which side of the street you're on. Sorry about my grammar there. But it all, and that's where it's dependent on you and what you're looking for. Do you want a higher elevation? Do you want the bigger sweeping lawn in the back? Do you want to have more opportunity to develop something in the back? It's, it just all depends. So And again, I told you that people will name their neighborhoods. So here in Madison Park, they don't have it on the street sign itself. We don't have a little something right there, but above all the street signs, you will see Madison Park. And it's a very nice, stately plaque that says where you are in Charlotte and what your neighborhood is and where you belong, or where you're going to reside, or where you're just happen to drive through and see. So these are, I don't know, they're wonderful parts of Charlotte that most people don't get off the beaten track to see unless they have a friend that lives over here. So I would say, looking at this, and you're coming to Charlotte to move, or you're in Charlotte and you may have been here for a short time, take the time to come through these neighborhoods and see if any of this really resonates with you, because it is pretty spectacular. I mean, it's a lot of fun. They are really charming neighborhoods. They are wonderful. You will see people sitting out on their front lawns. You wave to them, they wave back. I don't want to say like Mayberry, because it's not like Mayberry, but it's very, very friendly. And when you wave to somebody, that's a really good tell for if you like your neighborhood and you think you might want to be there. Drive around, stop, park the car, walk around, wave to somebody that you see on the street. If they wave back, guess what? That's a good sign. That doesn't mean, oh, hi, I'm going to wave at you because I want what you have. No, it's a, hey, how are you? I mean, let's be friends, hopefully. It's all good. So I would say take the time, really, really come in and see what you think of these neighborhoods. Drive them, walk them, park your car and just take a stroll. Everybody's out walking their dogs. Dog friendly for me is a good thing. I like dog friendly neighborhoods. I think they're fantastic. I actually look for that. I have clients that look for that. I have clients that say, I don't want dogs anywhere near me. And so we look for where people really aren't walking their dogs because they want, I don't know, a goat farm, or they want to raise llamas or emus, or I don't think we can do ostriches in town right now. But, there are those people that want to do that. So those are options. And if that's the case, we probably need to put you down in Waxhaw where you have some farmland. We're up at Park Road right now. So we've just come through Madison Park. We're sitting at the stoplight at Park Road in Seneca. If you took a left, you would go to Pasta and Provisions, which is, you have to go. They have the best homemade pasta. I can't even list. That's a whole other, I could just take you in there and we can do a whole hour in there. They make their own pasta. They make really great sandwiches. The Royal is kind of like an Italian hoagie. Well, it's an Italian sub, but they slice sausage and provolone, and then they put it on there and they heat it up, and it's really, really good. Kind of reminds me of a New Orleans po' boy in a little bit of a way, except that it's got capicola and stuff like that on it. But anyway, again, food. I am the food. I just like food. I'm the foodie realtor. So there we go. But you will love to go in there. They do fresh pastas. You can take it home. You can cook it. You can buy frozen. They make great lasagnas. Just go in and have fun. Our friends Tommy and Debbie George own it. They've got 3 locations around Charlotte. You're going to eat it up and love it. So coming over to our left and coming down Park Road, we're coming up to Park Road Park and Fairview. We've got the backside of Barkley Downs, which we're going to hit on our loop back into the town. But what I really wanted to do today was show you from Dilworth, where we left off last time on the video, coming down. So we've hit Sedgefield, we've hit Colonial Village, we've hit Collingwood, we've hit Madison Park. So now we're going to come down Park Road. We've got an auto bell right up here, which is really great. If you ever need to get your car washed, you can get the monthly package and just go in anytime, any auto bell in the city, get your car done. It's really fantastic. It's easy, and they're really good at what they do. This is not a plug for auto bell, but they are good, and they are pretty much everywhere. But right past Autobell is Park Road Park. Now, we have a lot of parks in the city and a lot of ways for people to go and exercise, have fun, just engage, get out of town, well, not out of town, but out of where they are normally and get over here. So we've got baseball fields, basketball courts. There's a big pond. People are out there all the time walking and engaging and riding their bikes and just having a good experience outdoors. And it's a fun place to be. And then there are two entrances. There's one right back here that we just passed. There's one right up here. And it's just, they've got walking trails in there. You can bike around in there. There are playgrounds for the kids in there. If you don't have kids, you can come over and play tennis right over here. It's a great park. We've got them dotted all over Charlotte, which, city planning and master planning for this city, I don't care what people say. I really think they put a lot of thought into this, and I like it a lot. And it's good. It's a well-engineered city. It flows well. Don't get me started on the traffic. It's fine. But it is a great place to be because you can get anywhere you need to get to, not just by traveling the main arteries like Park that get you in and out. And this will take you all the way to South Carolina, by the way, which is really great. You can get down and go to Southern Spirits, which is where you need to go to get all your alcohol. Because we're ABC up here, and anyway, we're not going to talk about that either. I don't want to have to get in trouble. But we're going to turn into one of these neighborhoods, and this is going to be the top end of Quail Hollow. So this neighborhood, and then this is going to come down into Huntingtowne Farms, and you're going to see a lot of split level homes in here. The price point is going to be less than what it is in Madison Park because you're just a little bit farther out of the city center. So once you cross over Wendover and Woodlawn, the price point changes. Now, the exception to that is when you leave this area and you get closer to Quail Hollow Country Club, that is a little bit higher price point. You've got newer homes, grander homes. They're more recently done up and renovated. I think we're just going to have to edit that because that sounded horrible. Done up. It's just, we're going to go back and redo that. But so driving through here, we've got, and this is what I love about Charlotte, you've got these nice peaks and valleys. And so you go down a hill, and at the bottom of the hill, you think, oh, it's at the bottom of the hill. You've got charm, and you've got just these hidden gems that you'll find all over the city. So we're coming back up. We're on Northampton Drive right now, and we're going to come right back up here. We're going to come back out on, there are multiple entrances to Huntingtowne Farms, which is the neighborhood we're about to come into right now. And it's a lot, pretty much the majority of it, I'm not going to say everything, because the majority of all of this are split levels. And they're not for everybody. They're really not, and I get that. But you can have really cute little box Georgians. You can have, the architecture styles are just so cool here. They're not all in, when most people think split level, they think, oh, Brady Bunch. And sometimes you have it. And we have wildlife. I did a post the other day. I had deer in my front yard. It was awesome. There's a doe right there. They'll just sit there and eat your grass all day. So if you don't want to mow, invite the deer over. It's a lot of fun. And it's easy. But you get wildlife down here, which is cool. What other city do you get to say, I mean, other than going out to California with weird laws, do you get to say, hey, I have deer in my yard? Huh, that's pretty cool. I like it. Charlotte FC flags are going to be everywhere. Charlotte FC is our football, or soccer, sorry, as some people here call it. But it's our football club for European football, which is soccer in the U.S. We're going to do a little bit of education here for some people that don't know, but I'm sure most of you know, because I think most of you all are pretty smart people. So we're going to take a right and we're going to head back onto Park, and this is where we're going to hit those Huntingtowne Farms areas again. And there's Quail Corners coming up down here. We're going to hit past the first Huntingtowne Farms entrance. There is a swim and racket club associated with them, and there are cute little pocketed neighborhoods of Huntingtowne Farms and branches that come off. Sometimes you've got Old Providence. Old Providence is over a little bit, but you've got different unique builds that are offset from your main larger neighborhood association, or not even association, but your big neighborhood. So if we come down Seth Thomas, for instance, we can take this and we're just going to make a quick little loop onto Tattersall. But this is very, very normal for what you would see in Huntingtowne Farms. Again, you'll see some ranches, you'll see split levels, you'll see something that would be akin to a Cape Cod style. It's just, you get the run of the mill, but it's a great neighborhood because you've got all this diversity in architecture out here, and you're not going to see this in other places. I mean, the front facade architecture styles maybe, but the way they're situated on the lots, the way people have built around here and created their communities, no two are exactly the same. And that's what's so fascinating about all of this. And so this, you're going to think that, gosh, we've got a lot of cloud cover, the sun's setting. No, this is heavy, heavy tree canopy right here. So as you're looking around, tilt your camera up, look up, see the tree canopy. This is what makes these neighborhoods so unique, is they've saved this. They've kept as much of that wooded area as possible to really create this living in the woods atmosphere. And it's very private back here. Even though you've got Park Road, which is a really, really big, heavy thoroughfare, heavy artery to go back and forth and get around, not all of it needs to be. I mean, these people have a brick wall right here, which blocks a lot of the sound that you're going to hear on the road. And you can live back there peacefully and not ever know what's going on up here. It's wonderful. So little communities that I talked about, you've got Gatewood over there. We've got a brand spanking new Tri-Point community home right here, Everton. They are all townhouses. They are, just started finishing, I think, the beginning of this year. They're great. We've got luxury apartments right here at Tyndall. They're fantastic as well. And we are bordering the edge of the Quail Hollow Country Club and Beverly Wood, which is our next kind of stop through. So we're coming up to, if we keep going down here, and this is going to be the next set of videos too, we'll get to all of Charlotte, I promise. It's going to be really fascinating. But you've got Harris Teeter right over here, you've got an urgent care over here, you've got dining over here, there's a coffee shop over there, Walgreens over there. So quick and easy access to get to your staples that you need to just enjoy and live and survive. Everything can be right there. We've got high schools down here as well. And then again, if you head down here, this will take you into Ballantyne. It will take you right by Pineville, and it will take you down onto Johnston Road, which part turns into Johnston, and that takes you into Indian Land, South Carolina. And then I don't know if anybody has the patience to go through South Carolina with me, but that's a whole other thing. My accent changes, everything changes. I have to put on overalls. It's a whole get up. I'm an equal opportunity offender, so no need to worry about that. But I'm going to lose my modesty for a second, and I'm going to tell you I'm a little bit charming. That's the draw. It all pans out, but you're going to have fun. You're going to learn a lot. And it's going to be an experience you're never going to forget. Searching Charlotte for your perfect home that's right for you at this minute. It may not be right for you for the lifetime, for your lifetime. if you're single and looking, great. You may find the person of your dreams, and then you may go, oh, we've decided that, as my past clients told me, this was a bachelor pad, and we were here for a very short time because we needed something for us. Great. I'm happy for you. That's awesome. That's really awesome. It's what is right for you at that point in your life. That can change from year to year. That can change from decade to decade. It really just takes some time figuring it all out. So while I was talking, we came down Glen Eagles, which will take you right over to the golf course and the golf club for Piper Glen. These houses start the lower half of Beverly Wood, and also the Quail Hollow golf course. And Piper Glen is on the far south side. Quail Hollow is right here. They all kind of meet at some point, on the edges. And so you're going to see these are a little bit more stately, a little bit more English in their architecture, and you would almost think, okay, I've got gas lights, I've got, this almost feel of a classic carriage feel, like you would ride a carriage, and you could see that people did that back in the day. Now, this part of Charlotte was not here when they had horse and carriages, but it's made to feel that old and that worldly, and cultured isn't really the right word for it, but just that je ne sais quoi that people are looking for sometimes. This can give you that because you've got a very nice home. It's larger square footage wise. These are mostly going to be 2-story and 3-story homes. You've still got a good amount of land, and you've got a good amount of trees. They back up to other properties, but you don't really see them because of the trees in the back. The cultivated landscape, that mature landscaping that people do, and then you've got those watersheds that are through here that will also just get out that excess rain water that comes down. But you've got unique properties. Some of these, like this, looks like a single story. I know for a fact that it goes down and has a walkout in the back. Pretty fascinating. If you don't know to look and dig beneath the surface, you're missing a lot. And the same could be said when you're talking to people. If you just go based on what the surface is, you're going to miss a lot. So I say the same thing for houses. Houses are a lot like people. It's a lot like dating. You need to ask the right questions up front to get to the right set of what you're looking for and what you think you want. But then you have to really listen and really get a feel for it and know, is this right for me? Gosh. And I'm going to throw some curveballs at you. I'm going to say, yes, you want to see this. And you said absolutely not this. But I read your body language. I read your facial expressions. I read what you don't say. And honestly, that's why I'm good at what I do. Because I'm going to interpret and really hear what you're not saying. Because you could walk into a house and go, no, absolutely not. This is none of this is working for me. But you're staying. You're walking through it. Something is appealing. Something has got your gut going, okay, there's something here. You may not know what it is. I may not know what it is right off the bat. But we're going to figure that out. This is a 2-story house. It looks like a 1. They've built it up. And so on the back side, the back of the roof line would have full big windows that you would look out over onto your backyard for. There are different architectural styles here, which again is part of the charm of Charlotte and what you get. So while you have larger acreage here, larger square footage here, you've also got a higher price point. As we come out of Beverly Woods, we're going to come right up here. We're going to get onto a Sharon, and Sharon's going to be your best friend, or she's going to be your worst nightmare. It just, don't let her get under your skin. That's the key, okay? She's kind of like the person you dated in high school that broke your heart, and you fell in love with, and you wanted to laugh with, and then you were kind of like, okay, you know what? Now, they're a part of my life, and I'm okay. I'm good, and you're good, and that's Sharon. That's all the Sharons: road, lane, drive, view, all of it. So that's where we were. We're on Sharon. We're coming past Quail Park. These are these are newer built homes, more of a smaller lot for people. So just know that I hope that this car stops. That's also something we need to watch for, is that, there are distractions, and everybody has them. I don't, because I'm perfect. I mean, I here's my modesty. I am really, really good at what I do. I am really good, period. And I just don't have problems that other people have. It is exhausting being me sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. I can't even say that with a straight face. I just can't. But coming through, we are on Sharon, but you do have to watch out for other drivers while you're doing all this. So this is really the heart of Beverly Wood that we were talking about before. These are, again, your older homes. We're coming up to the South Park area. So coming up, we're about to turn back onto Sharon, and we're staying on Sharon, actually. If we were going to turn right, you would head down and go to Beverly Woods High School. It would be Quail Hollow Road at that point. So Charlotte is not laid out on a grid. Think of giving a giant pan of spaghetti to a 2-year-old and having them just dump it on the floor, and then naming all the pieces of spaghetti as the roads. That's pretty much what I think they did when they developed Charlotte, other than the wards in Uptown, which are gridded. And you got first ward, second ward, third ward, fourth ward, which we talked about. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to my first one and you can review that, because we did talk about it. And it's fascinating. You'll love it. You'll learn a lot. It's great. But anyway, the rest of it is just mixed up spaghetti. So they do get you where you need to go. You may cross over something else 3 times and go, would I have been better off taking that road? Maybe, maybe not, because everybody else is thinking the same thing and they're taking that road. So we'll see. But we are coming out of Beverly Wood at this point. We're coming up into the lower part of South Park. And you're going to see a style change. You're going to see more brick homes and more. And that's the other thing. So some people want full brick structure. Some people want brick foundation and wood structure on the outside of their home. Some people want siding. It all depends on what you want and what you think you want to live in. Do you want slab? Do you want crawl space? Do you know the difference between the two on a livability standpoint? So those are all things to ask questions about, do your research on, ask me, ask anybody. If we've got people that are older than me, that are, just shy of being older than me, that may want something that's a more mature living arrangement. So Sharon Towers is right here. We have assisted living, we have full onset retirement living, and we have independent living quarters that are all available in that one area. It is very well developed, it is very well maintained, and it is very nice. We've also got townhouses right here. So this is South Park. We're now coming into it. We've got Phillips Place off to our right. They've got great shopping. They've got great dining. You've got a wonderful French bakery right over here, right behind the restaurant that is off to my left, and Harper's. It is apparently one of the best bakeries in town. My friends Noah and Liz told me about it the other day. We have to go because I like bakery stuff. It's gonna be fun. So we're doing a little bit of the shopping thing. We're gonna hit South Park right here, but we're gonna cut around on the backside, and we're gonna get into the Barkley Downs part of the Charlotte area and the South Park area. And then this is pretty much where our tour is going to end today for this. But you've got to stay tuned because there's just so much more Charlotte that you're going to want to see. And so while we're here, you've got all of South Park Mall. I'm not going to tell you what's in there because it's a lot. And that's, long-winded stuff. But you've got Steak 48 over here. You've got great restaurants over here. There's a brand new apartment complex coming up here. If you wanted that central living with the ability to run across and grab good dining and good shopping, this would be something to think about. One of my favorite restaurants is right here on the corner. It's called Booyah. It's Bulla. It is pronounced Booyah. It's Spanish. It's Spanish tapas, but they do the best paella I have had in Charlotte, just hands down. Right over here, Copan, fantastic bakery. Don't know if I mentioned them before, but I think I might have, maybe not. Anyway, they have, if you go in, they have these big fridges and freezers. Go in there and get their cookie dough. We did make them once. Normally we just eat the raw cookie dough, frozen. It's the best. The cookies actually are pretty good because I bought one day, but I think we made a batch, like 3, and they were good. But the cookie dough is just, it just takes you back to being a kid again. It's fun and it's exciting. So Paco's Tacos and Tequila is right over here. Really great for Tex-Mex food. I mean, it's always busy. Brick Tops, really fantastic restaurant as well. You're not going to want to miss, right on the other side of this is the back side of South Park Mall to our left. This little amphitheater is where they do Pops in the Park. So you get a picnic, you come out, you lay out a blanket, you set out on the lawn, and the symphony will play during the summertime when it's not COVID. And it is truly spectacular. And the best part about it is you've got Reed's right there. You go in, you order a charcuterie, you get your whole thing. They will do your picnic basket for you. You can grab a bottle of wine while you're in there and come right out and sit on the lawn and enjoy everything in one evening. It's fantastic. And they've got it all. Reed's is by far the best stop you could make in Charlotte for butchering and just prepared foods and wine and cheese and just great stuff. I mean, they've got it. You just need to go. You're going to love it. I think I've mentioned that before too. So now we are in Barclay Downs. So Barclay Downs is right between Myers Park on the north side and South Park on the south side. This is an older, established neighborhood in Charlotte, but people have come in recently and bought these homes that were built in the 60s. And to our right, there's one that is a little bit more mid-century mod contemporary that they just recently added onto the front, and it's charming. I didn't think it was going to work. I really was kind of thinking I might have to go knock on their door and say, sorry, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Nothing around here looks like that, but it actually looked good. Coming down here, you've got this coming down the road, coming down the hill a little bit, and we've got a watershed on both sides, and you've got brick homes that have been added onto in the past. You've got these single-story ranches. You've also got, these are going to have on the right side, are going to have your walkouts in the basement areas. Your ones on the left side are just either going to be 1 or 2 stories or 1.5s. And so you've got either the brick or you've got one like right here on our left. It was a single story brick. They popped the top, and you're going to hear me say that quite a bit, and added a full second story. That is a great way to increase your square footage without having to say, oh my gosh, I'm out of land and I don't have a yard anymore. Pop your top on a single story, add a second story, put another roof on it. Bob's your uncle, you got a brand new house. And you've just doubled almost your square footage, which is highly, highly, highly recommended for resale value. Now, if you don't need the square footage, then just don't do it. But it is pretty fascinating to do, and it's pretty fun. I've seen a lot of people doing it in Plaza. People over here have done it quite often, and it's served them well. Growing families do it. People during the pandemic, if they did it right before the pandemic, they were golden, because then they had the extra space that they didn't know they needed, but it turned out to be the biggest blessing they could ever get. So kind of cool stuff. But this is pretty much the heart of what Barkley Downs is. There's a swim and racket club that's associated with Barkley Downs, but you've also, you've got trees everywhere. We are a canopied city. I mean, we just are. It's pretty cool. You've got new build right here that's coming up on the corner. This one just finished to our right. I'm going to say like 8 months ago. This one, they're slated to start. They said coming fall. I really think it's probably going to start in January of 2023. This is a great split level that they've redone on to the left. And again, we're coming down the hill. So usually down the hill, you've got a watershed of some sorts. You've got some sort of drainage that you're going to contend with on the backside. But that also means foliage. That means trees. That means green. That means nobody's going to build right directly behind you, that you're going to look out at your neighbor and wave and go, hi, oh my gosh. It's not always the best thing. But some of this is very reminiscent, because we also are bordering. We're very, very close to, we're coming up to Park Road. So we're coming up to the Sedgefield, the Madison parks. You can see that transition between Barkley Downs and now what Madison Park is. And so coming back, we've now made it full circle, and we're back to right where we began. And I just want to thank you all for coming along on the ride, having a great tour with me, and I want you to join me next time.